In the antique, a hero was not a regular human being. It was rather a direct descendant from the gods. Thus, they filled the gap between humans and the Olympians. They were pictured as brave, strong, and sly. They sacrificed their life in the fight against monsters and tyrants for fame and honor. Many aspects did not change since then. Society had always had its heroes, fictional and spiritual ones. Their stories were not only good for entertainment, they also brought hope in hard times and became a symbol for victory and success. This classic image of heroes has always influenced people in their behavior and what they compared themselves to. Because of that huge influence, culture and media has often been used to control. Especially the propaganda of the National Socialist regime in Germany made use of heroes as role models. They created an abstraction of the ideal Germanic person, blunt, strong, disciplined, but also ideologically clean and loyal to Führer and Vaterland. Women, on the other hand, were meant to serve their husband and family, and they were especially supposed to give birth to as many children of pure Aryan heritage as possible. This idea was spread via certain state-controlled media and other propaganda material, and also influenced the German architecture and self-awareness. Interestingly, there are many heroes who've made themselves that while and because of the Third Reich. They existed outside of posters and Riefenstahl films, and they of course fought against the Nazi Empire in its actions. Very few of them were heroes all the way. Most of them had just a few moments in which they changed the course of time. Some of them, regardless being controversial, became famous and remembered for the things they did. The nowadays probably most important example is Oskar Schindler. He was a big Nazi collaborator and a member of the Nazi Party. He gained his wealth exploiting forced laborers in concentration camps in an industrial extent. But instead of clearing his conscience with ignorance about the well-being of his workers, he took responsibility. He declared his Jews as important for the matter of the Endsieg, and therefore saved more than 1,000 human beings from annihilation. Other heroes have shown an absurd amount of bravery and talent, but never got the attention and fame that feels reasonable. Mark Epstein grew up within the Leningrad blockade. He has not only lived through severe hunger, he had to witness family members and peers die because of multiple reasons. At the day he turned 18, he signed in to become a part of the Soviet army. Very quickly, he became a sniper. Within only 2 months, he counted roughly 25 kills. As he continued fighting against the Nazis, he got himself shot in the head. After 6 months of surgery, he very surprisingly survived. Instead of taking time to recover, he returned to his duty until he was again severely injured. Against all odds, he survived the war and was therefore able to tell his story. But can someone who has killed multiple people and served a dictatorship that's responsible for millions and millions of deaf people really be a hero? Well, we did the research and asked several students for their opinion. Not all heroes have done great things. They rather brought big courage and sacrifices to save the ones that were important to them. We had a chance to meet Miss Davidova to tell us about her mother, who has managed to bring her daughter through the Leningrad blockade.
Meine Mutter, die arbeitet im в госпитале работала.
Krankenhaus.
Krankenhaus. неважно. Работала в госпитале, на кухне там помощницей. А я всегда была при ней. Она меня не отпускала ни на минуту. И я гуляла во дворе. Спала я там на полке под столом, под рабочим, на стеллаже. И когда была тревога, сильная тревога, и началась бомбежка, мама выскочила за мной во двор, как была в халате. И в это время бомба шарахнула в этот госпиталь, разнесла, и мы остались вдвоем на улице, когда мы побежали домой. Мама взяла меня за корки, и побежали домой, пошли. Примерно, километра 2, может, 3, у нас дом далеко был. Вот это мне запомнилось очень хорошо. Это был ноябрь, конец ноября. Очень холодное было время, уже мороз был.
From all that, we learn that heroes are people just like us who decided to do the right thing. In a time where many of us live in peace and democracy, heroes are needed to let us continue doing so by protecting our constitution and our national sovereignty. As we now understand, heroes are not just fighting the big battles. Often people who overcome certain inner and outer burdens remind us what's possible.